Welcome to Be on the Red Carpet. Today I am happy to welcome back Jay Osmond. Welcome back, Jay.
Thank you, Francine. It's great to talk to you again.
You know what we're going to talk about today is a lot of stuff from your past, because you've been on lately and we've talked a lot about your play, which we'll get into at the end. But in 1963, the Beatles came from UK to here to the US, and we exploded with Beatlemania. Then in 1971, the Osmond Brothers and the whole family went from the US to Britain and exploded over there into Osmond Mania. Were you expecting that at all?
Not at all. In fact, when we got off the plane at Heathrow, it was just like, it was craziness. There were all these people they have this video they showed us. I couldn't believe it. The whole airport was just full of wonderful fans, and they were screaming, and it was so loud that the balcony broke. And so we had thank goodness no one was seriously injured, but it was like craziness. And we thought, man, this is like surreal. What is going on? I mean, we had no idea it would be so wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Were you guys on your own plane, or were you on commercial?
Well, we came on commercial, and then they got us our own plane where we flew all over. We went all over Europe actually, and and then we flew our own jets and to different places, but what was so fun is that it became a whole new chapter in our life. It was what I call the whirlwind chapter, and it's where we took these wonderful fans, and also it was starting to really rumble over in America as well. But we took them with us and this on a journey, basically on our journey. And that's what was so cool about my musical, is that it talks about what you just asked about, coming into Britain, and all of a sudden it was just like the whole world exploded for us. And that was what's so neat about my musical last year in the UK, is that it's just like a whirlwind. It just caught up and it just kept going, and it was so successful. And I'm so thrilled how it was portrayed. The actors, and they did such a wonderful job to portray my family as I saw them through my eyes, and the things that happened to us. And it was like so exciting. I can't wait to bring it here.
Yes, hopefully. I'm not guaranteeing people, but hopefully next year when we get the final information, we'll get you back on. But right now, when you were up there and you were idols, teen idols, whatever you want to call it, could you hear yourself sing? I mean, just all that noise.
It was like amazing, because our sound equipment people, the Clare brothers, they called them, they were also the sound equipment people for Led Zeppelin. And they told us that we were louder than Led Zeppelin, because we had to get over the screams, and because we had a different audience than they did, obviously, but they didn't have the screams, and they were just loud. So we had to not only be loud, we had to get over the screams, and then on stage we could hardly hear ourselves. So we had to. That's why some of us don't hear quite well. But it was so loud, Francine. It was just hard to. It was deafening. That's really the only word I have.
And that was a complete shock to you guys. I mean, you didn't have that prior to 71. I mean, you had your fame, but you didn't have that real huge, humongous crowds, did you?
Well, in I think it was 1969 or 70, we did a test concert in Cleveland and Cincinnati, and we had it was like amazing like that. It was like craziness, but it was smaller venues. But when we got over there in the UK, it was just amplified. And then when we came back to America, it caught on over America, and it was just as crazy and wonderful. And the only thing, we never had a chance really to get close to the fans then, like we did later on in our years. We had, because it was so fun to get to know the fans and hear their story. In fact, in the musical, there is a person named Wendy, and she represented the fans and how she grew up with us, and she walked her life right along with ours, and how they correlated. and coincided. And it's and so many wonderful fans, or which we call friends, but they said they were just, that was their life. They were Wendy, and that was what made, I think, partly the musical so wonderful, is that they could all relate well to her.
I mean, these fans were amazing. I mean, I can only imagine what you guys went through with the girls, the screaming girls, and being from your family and your religious background and all that, you couldn't take advantage of the sexual revolution at the time. How did you handle that? I mean, were people girls throwing their panties up to you, like, you know, you have that for David Cassidy and all that other stuff?
Well, you know, like, we're very normal guys, and
I can attest to that.
thank you. But what we had were wonderful parents, and we had rules, of course, and of course the bottom line was the gospel. We believe so strongly, and we believe so strongly in principles of the gospel. So we had to take steps to protect ourselves, as well as, you know, in our little convoy there where we traveled in, and I call it the bubble, which I'm grateful for now, because so many people, you know, they get out into show business, they don't have grounding. I call it grounding and principles. You can really get lost in this world. And when all the fame and the fortune and the girls and everything were thrown at us, we had wonderful parents who taught us way back when we were little kids. My father, in which we call family home evening, every Monday we do that, and
he taught us. He went through role play situations, and he knew way before the craziness happened what things would happen to us. And so he puts in situations, says, now, what would you do when this happens? And he never said if. He said, when this happens. He just somehow foresaw some things. And so we learned as young boys and Maries, as young girls, what to do if, and you know, nobody's perfect, but we made some right moves because of the training of great parents. And so I think, you know, as I grew up, I tried to really hard with my boys to train them in situations that when this happens, you know, so you already make a decision before it happens. And so there was this great word we used. There were two words I used my whole life. One was focus. That's when I didn't feel good on stage, or because I had like ADHD, I'm all over the place sometimes. And I had to do that with my drum solo. I just use the word focus, or when I'm performing. It somehow sent a message to my mind to focus and just simply not let my mind run. The other word I used was avoid. If I knew something was either tempting or hard or and getting into some rough ground or whatever, I just said avoid. And so I moved myself out of the situation, and I did that throughout my life. And so it blessed me and it protected me.
Well, it definitely did, and you are definitely well grounded. I can definitely say that. You know, it was evident in your musical, and for anybody that followed the Osmond Brothers, you all had different colors for your jumpsuits and for your outfits and your ties and everything. How did that come about? Did you pick your own colors? I know everybody's curious about how did you get green? How did somebody get red? Alan red, I think, and there's orange for Wayne. How did that happen?
So it was really funny because, well, back in 1969 and 70, we were performing over in Las Vegas, and we were working with Nancy Sinatra it was then called the International. It changed to Hilton. But right above us was Elvis Presley, and he had a penthouse where he would stay there when, you know, of course, he lived there and on and off it. And he would come down and watch us in the lighting booth, you know. And so, and Jeremy, it was like really, he's the first, what do you call it, Elvis impersonator. And he did this song, "You're looking for trouble? You came in the right place." And Elvis cracked up every time we see Elvis up there. He cracked up every time he said, "I got one." And then Elvis would watch us perform his, you know, with Nancy and by ourselves, and that was said that was one of the fun things he'd like to do is come down and watch us perform. And so he invited us up to with Nancy up to his penthouse there, and then we had a fun game. You know, he was a pinball crazy guy, and he showed us the pinball. He felt like a brother to us. And then when he performed, we came over and watched him. He brought us backstage, and he says, "Now, brothers," he said, "I'm a big fan, but," he said, "you gotta lose the tablet. Okay, you gotta lose it." He says, "And you gotta match up your ass, okay? And so you need, first of all, you all look alike. You need to differentiate yourself a little bit with colors, you know." And then he kind of took over what we needed to do with our career. It was so fun.
So we can attribute all colors to Elvis, basically. But how did you come?
Well, actually, he first showed us the jumpsuits. He says, "Now," he opened up his closet and he said, "Now this is cool." And he had all these different colored jumpsuits. He had all different colors. He says, "See, what you need is you need to each choose a color and what you need to do. So you need to first of all look better." And we wore these tight little what do you call it? Anyway, we were all, you know, all had the same outfit and tight. And so he said, two things need to happen. You choose a color, and you need to put some karate in your act. And he said, "Don't do tap dancing anymore." So he saw it. And he got as close as available to come over, and he went over like this, measured for jumpsuits. And for anybody who's followed our family know that we made a quick change from in this early 70s to jumpsuits. And you'll see hundreds of you know, our jumpsuits. So anyway, so he asked pick a color. He says, "Now," and so mine first was, you know, blue at first, and then Alan wanted that blue. So Alan took blue. So I kept green. Green was my second choice, but and then Blue's friend, who was the designer of the Ninja Turtles, said, "I like what you did with the Osmonds. I'm gonna give the Ninja Turtles colors too, because they all look the same." You'll notice about the same time, Donatello got Donnie's purple, Michelangelo, they got all the colors, so we all kind of changed at the same time, and it was really fun. But that's really how we all started using our colors, because else made said you all look too much alike. You know, because we always made it was kind of fun for us to all, we did everything together so tight, harmony. We did barbershop, everything we did was like really perfectly in unison, you know, kind of. They said you need to separate yourselves a little bit. We had these barbershop outfits on. Everything was really cool, but when Elvis came into our life, it made a big difference, and for the best, because he had our interest at heart, because he had been watching us, and it's too bad he left too early from this world, because the year that he died, he was wanting to get together in Iceland and put a big barbecue together for us, and you know, it was his drummer, you know, in fact, Ronnie Tuck was his drummer, and he became my first drum teacher. And so it was so wonderful this year. In fact, there's something that I'm going to be doing. We're going to be going to the Elvis this year to honor in Graceland his life. And so we're going to interview me. And this is one of the people that knew him, and so I had this wonderful chance to get to play with the TC band, his band, the Elvis's band. And Ronnie Tuck couldn't play, so they asked me to come in. Ronnie, his drummer, he called in. He called in because he had broken his hip. So I came and filled in for Ronnie Tuck, which was probably the greatest honor that I could do. And if you go on YouTube, if you look at TCB band at Buxton, BUXUN, and then it has my name, it shows you the thing where I come up on stage, we talk to Ronnie Tuck, and we talk to James, and to Jim Burton, and others, and we talked, we just had a fun time. And I think that was probably one of the highlights of my life because it was, you know, first of all, I'm so honored to be asked to do this. And second of all, it was probably a highlight of my life, really, to do that last couple years ago, actually. But this year is going to be so fun because now we can go back into Elsa's life, and I'm going to tell some stories about what he was like, and you know, and how my impressions. I was only 17 years old when I met him, but you know, during the time when we met, he had just lost his mother, and so he became very, he really, my mother took over a little bit as to try to help. He was going through a rough time. He had lost his mother, and he loved his mother, and he loved the Bible, and he talked to mother about the Bible and the Book of Mormon and everything. It was just wonderful. And my mother got to know him really over the phone, and I got to know him as a big brother. It was kind of, in fact, I would prefer to say, how would you define my relationship with him? And I was calling my cool brother. And he's the one who really got us with Dr. Morris. He's the one who got us with the way we look, the way we changed. He got us he put us with a big choreographer, Heine Rogers. He got our whole look changed after we met him. So anyway, that's a long way around talking about.
No, that's an amazing story about Elvis. But another person who's very important to all of you is Andy Williams.
Oh gosh, he was amazing. Before Andy was, I think my greatest hero was Walt Disney. I was 6 years old, and it was because of Walt Disney really that got us launched in television, because he put us on his television shows, and then Andy Williams' father saw us and said, "Andy, you've got to see these boys." So we came, auditioned, and put us on, just like Walt Disney, put us on the next week. And we were with Andy Williams for 9 years, and there on that particular that series, we learned more in 9 years than you can in a lifetime, because every week we had to do something different. We had to learn. One week we had to learn to play pianos, then we had to learn to do ice skating, and then we had to learn to play. That's where I learned drums, really. But every week had to do something different, because we were known as the one-take Osmonds. You had to do it perfectly. And that's what got us in that mind frame that Elvis tried to change a little bit. And Willie Augustus, or you have to do this exactly right and perfect. And then Elvis said, you don't have to be perfect, but you just have to be good. You know? And that's my dog.
Let's see Ruby.
I gotta show you Ruby.
Yeah, let's see her.
Yeah, and she's the cutest little thing. Come here, Ruby. And I want to show you Ruby. This is Ruby.
Sweetie pie.
Yeah, she makes us laugh. Every night, every morning I let her out of her location. She runs through the hallway and runs back and forth. She's great. Yeah.
Doesn't sleep in your bed with you?
No, she gets on her bed, but she doesn't sleep. But she gets off and we put her in her little room back there.
Yeah, if I had her, I'd keep her next to me all night long. She's a sweetie. Can you give me any kind of fun story about Andy Williams? Because you gave me that Elvis one. Let's do Andy.
Okay, I'll give you one with I remember probably that sticks out in my mind the most. We're doing this song called High is Better Than Low. In other words, it's a really tight harmony thing. It had a lot of shares on it and a lot of dancing. And so we really was a complicated number. And on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we really rehearsed it out right. On Thursday night was the dress rehearsal. That's the big night where we do it with cameras and actually do our shoot. It's a dress rehearsal. Friday night we had to shoot the whole thing, right? So it was on Thursday night where I was walking up and trying to remember my steps and everything, and I slipped. And I was on the top, and I slipped and I fell off the stairs. And I bumped and I fall off my boy, and I cut this big. Yeah, I got skinned up really bad. And and I thought, of course, there were all these people there, and I thought I had ruined the whole thing because I was bleeding and everything, and it stopped. And he stopped. I had this big kind of wound, and he took his handkerchief, I'll never forget, out of his pocket, and he stopped the whole thing, and he came up to me, and he said, he picked me up. I was only 8 years old, but I was still 8. And he picked me up and he carried me and put his arm and he carried me and kind of walked angered me to his Rolls Royce. And he had this beautiful, not only did I think I ruined the whole show, but I thought I was worried about ruining his Rolls Royce. He put me inside it. You could care less. He said it was like white, it's beautiful white interior and everything. And I had bleeding and he had this thing on shit, and he took me himself over to the hospital, which is about a mile away, Burbank by NBC. And he sat with me. My father had to be out of town for some reason that night, and he sat with me for like 2 hours while they stitched my head up, and you see a little scar right there. Anyway, and he says, "Don't worry, Jake. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine." Because I was a worrywart kid. I didn't want to, and then when I saw him in 2000, I can't remember now, 2008 or something, or I can't remember what it was before he died. I went over to see his show, and I came backstage to see him, and he gave me this big hug, and he says, "Remember," and he actually told me, "Do you remember that time you got in my car?" And I thought, "Oh gosh, you carried this beautiful word about me in your car." He says, "Jay, I love you." And just like that, just say, "I love you." And I gave him this big hug, and a year later he died, and I'll never forget that kind soul. He grew up like an uncle. To him, I would say, like I was just like a cool brother. Andy Williams was like a great uncle to me. And another person that meant a lot to me was Osmond Brothers in Sweden. And he was the Andy Williams of the Nordic countries. He was like that. And he was another hero of mine. And he died just recently. And my wife Karen and I went to see him before he died. And he was also the one, if you ask any of us, what our best time of life was, probably we would all say in Sweden, when those summers, those 5 summers that we spent there. Because Lasse and all, with father, he and father told him, says, "Let's make this the best time of our life for my boys because they work hard." And he went he gave us lots of possible cameras, and he gave us all kinds of fun things to do and see. He was like our tour guide over there. And anyway, he was another hero of mine. There are so many wonderful people that I know over the years, because on the Andy Williams show, every week there were like 3 different stars, like Barbara Eden. All these people that had a crush on Barbara Eden. But there was Terry Grant. There was Dean Martin. There was Bobby Darin. Who there's John Wayne. All these people. And what was really cool, Glenn Campbell, he was another one. But all these people had such impact on my life because I saw them as real people. I didn't see them growing up. I looked at them as just real people, But it was really neat that most of them, all of them, loved my parents. They took to my parents, especially I think Glenn Campbell. He just thought they were just. And so many wonderful people. I could go on and on, because they saw father and mother as a stable force in our lives. And as you know, in show business, it's really not a stable industry. And there's a lot of craziness that goes on, ups and downs, fame and no fame. It's like you ride a roller coaster when you're in show business. And your father and mother were such stable figures, and that these wonderful guests and artists, the big artists, really just look to them as their parents. Gosh, there's so many different stories. I could just go on and on. I wrote a book called Stages. I read and some of those stories in there
Yes.
that were so powerful to me.
Well, in the couple minutes we have left, let me ask you to tell everybody what you're doing now. I'm sure everybody wants to get up to date with you.
Well, my wife and I moved to Wyoming, and we just love it here because my father wanted to raise us here really when we were little. He really had wished he could have taken us up to Starville where he grew up, Starville, Wyoming. But we went to California, and so we never got a chance to visit here as kids. And so I'm now the fourth generation that never was here now until now. So, but my great grandfather was commissioned by Brigham Young to come and help us settle this area, and so I've always wanted to come here as a kid. Just kind of like, in the back of your mind, you say, someday I'm going to live there. And so we finally made that move, and everything's great except for the snow. I mean, I love the snow, but it really snows up here.
Yeah, I grew up in the snow, that, you guys in Utah, and I don't like shoveling, that is sure.
Oh boy, then I'd be careful about coming to Wyoming because you do a lot of that. We have a lot of cousins up here, but it's just been a wonderful experience to be a place where there's so much history for our family. A lot of people think we're from Utah, which where I was born, but our roots really come from Wyoming and Idaho, and so but there's just a lot of I'm going to be asked to speak now to the historical society up here, and so I just wanted to let our fans out there know that I'm so excited to share more about the musical, but when I can.
You will definitely be back when you can.
Yes, and when it comes to the U.S., I can't wait. And so,
you're bringing me into the audience, right? I mean, I'm going to be there to watch. I've only seen snippets, which were fabulous, but I'd love to see the whole thing from start to finish.
Oh, Fritzy, I promise you, this is what when it comes, I want to talk like this with you again, and I'll give you every little detail on it. And so I can't wait to tell you about it. And so it's so fun. It's just, it's a story about how I saw things in a musical form.
Yes, and with all the music that you guys have given us through the years, soundtrack of our lives, basically, to many of us. But I am sorry to say that we're out of time.
Well, you're so fun to talk to. I appreciate you.
Yeah, but you'll be back, and we'll talk more about the musical when it comes here to the United States. And everybody wants all that information, so hopefully we'll be the first news when you're coming.
You betcha.
Thanks today, Osmond, again. And for the viewers, I will see you next time when we take another look beyond the red carpet. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this little chat. If you have, please like, share, subscribe, and if you'd like to be